welcome to my humble abode. Today I'm going to be watching and reacting to some Nick Crowley, The Internet's Darkest Corners 7, even though I missed 1 through 6. We can go back and do those later though. But for now, let's watch a few of these, see what happens. And of course, if you want to watch this without me yapping, go ahead and check out his channel down below in the description. And yeah, let's go.
911 location of your emergency. Okay, what's going on?
Alright, this is what's happened.
It's the 7th of November, 2014. 45-year-old Joseph Parker dials 911 at 2:45 in the morning to report an urgent incident that had taken place inside his home in Springville, Tennessee. An incident that had been solely his own doing.
I've been married 12 years. On the 4th, which would have been 2 nights ago at 4 a.m., I shot my wife.
I paused at the wrong fucking time. I was gonna say, he knows how long he's been married to the goddamn hour. That's insane. That man's been counting the days, hours, minutes, and probably seconds. But I'm sorry, I paused at the wrong damn time because it says he shot his wife. Fudge. All right, let's go. Let's listen.
In the temple of her head. I thought I'd killed her. And I put her in the freezer out in the garage.
It happened on him and his wife Samantha's 12th wedding anniversary, a day that should have been a celebration,
Yeah, what?
but instead had somehow ended in Joseph shooting Samantha at point-blank range, before proceeding to put her body inside their garage freezer. An awful crime that Joseph was now confessing to a 911 operator. But this confession wasn't the real reason for his call, as Joseph likely would have been content without ever reporting his own crime.
So why not just, if you're not happy with your wife, just leave. Like, get up, leave. Ask for a divorce, leave. Like, there's zero reason to like kill your spouse or like anyone you're dating in general. Like, if you're not happy with them, just leave. It doesn't take that much effort to just walk away. You know what I'm saying?
Had it not been for the fact that hours prior, he noticed something unusual.
Out in the garage. When I checked on her tonight, and she's not dead. She's got a big hole in the temple of her head. And
Holy
her
shit.
body moved around in there. I think I broke her wrist. You know, she was frozen from being in the thing. She's been in this thing 48 hours now.
He doesn't sound
According
sad
to
at
Joseph,
all. What the fuck? That's
Samantha was
chilling.
still alive, despite having a large hole in her head
That's
and spending
insane.
so long in their freezer that she was seemingly frozen solid. When he checked on her that morning, he realized that she wasn't actually dead and was even still conscious. The scenario
Wow, that, like, how lucky do you have to be to survive all that? Or like, is it lucky or is it not lucky that she survived all this? Because like, that's insane. Like, you have a bullet in your like head, brain, whatever, but then you're also like freezing to death almost. That has to be fucking terrifying. And not to mention, it's got to be pitch black in there, so she can't see a goddamn thing. That's horrifying. Holy crap.
Joseph was describing should have been impossible.
Yeah.
With it being so outlandish that Joseph felt the need to tell the operator that this wasn't a prank.
This is no prank call. I need somebody to get out there and help her out. But I promise you this is a legit call, and I need somebody to get out there and help her because I still love her. It's hard to believe.
No, sir, you don't love her. There's something wrong in your brain. You don't, alright, you don't hurt someone you love. That's a fact. At least not to that extent, right? You might accidentally hurt someone, like, with their feelings, like, emotionally and stuff. Like, you know, you might accidentally say something wrong, like, hey, yo, I love you, but, like, I hate that outfit you're wearing today. It's super ugly and unflattering to your physique. And then, you know, they might cry, be upset, and you're like, oh, shit, I should have kept that to myself. But, you know, you didn't actually try to, like, harm them. At least I hope not. Like, emotionally and mentally. But, like, physically harming them, that means you don't love them. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's not whine now, okay?
After that, you know, but I love her. I still love her.
Bullshit.
You know, I've loved her every day I've been married to her.
Bullshit.
She's had a rough stretch here.
He was being serious, and all he wanted to do now was get Samantha help, as he claimed to still love her despite everything he had done.
Yeah, right.
And help couldn't come quickly enough, as Joseph went into greater detail about just how bad Samantha's condition was, and how he was able to determine she was alive in the first place.
She's been frozen for 2 days. She's frozen solid. It's amazing she's still alive. She's getting called to move her jaw. She's in bad shape.
Why didn't you get her help before?
Man, she can't talk. Because it's a blink.
Fucking
Blink
dickwad?
once means yes, blink twice means no.
Despite being unable to speak or move, Samantha was still blinking, and was actually blinking in response to questions Joseph was asking
That's
her,
why- that's
once
insane.
for yes and twice for no. And in a moment of what appears to be regret for what he had done, he tried to make things better by giving her blankets and pouring water in her mouth.
Yes, she's still in the garage. I made her as comfortable as I can make her.
Wouldn't that mean she would, like,
water.
These responses
choke
led to a lengthy
on the
one-sided
water?
conversation that ended with Joseph vowing to get her help, which he was attempting to do now as he drove miles away, clearing the scene for authorities and paramedics to save her, while calling 911 and explaining the surreal scenario.
We don't have a history of domestic disputes. You know, we've never had to call the police and up. We just had a real bad night a couple of nights ago. And waving the gun around.
So, if you had no domestic disputes before, then why are you now all of a sudden like shooting your wife and hoping she's dead, stuffing her body in the freezer? None of this makes fucking sense, dude. Like, did he just have did he drink too much? Did he snap finally? Did he already have something wrong in his brain that he finally just snapped? It is so scary. You can be like married and like be with someone for so long and they just like do this to you. That's a fucking nightmare.
Got myself in trouble.
The two had a happy and healthy marriage that, for whatever reason, had turned sour on their anniversary, in what he referred to as a real bad night, where something in Joseph had snapped. But despite admitting to the murder,
I
he
said
made
that.
it clear that he had no intention of going to prison. He just wanted to make sure that Samantha was saved,
You're going to
Don't
prison.
want to get arrested tonight and all that.
telling the operator
Is
that
he
they'll
stupid?
find her in the freezer, before ending the call shortly after.
You go to the garage, you can't yell for you. You can't yell. But you go to the garage, and that's where you'll see her once you get to the garage.
So sickening how like calm he is about this.
Sure enough, when authorities entered Joseph and Samantha's home and ventured into the
fuck?
garage, they would see Samantha's red hair flowing out from the side of the freezer, and inside, they would find Samantha herself, frozen completely solid with a gunshot wound to her head, in the same exact manner that Joseph had described. But other than this, it was clear that Joseph's retelling of events was flawed, to say the least, as Samantha hadn't just been placed inside the freezer. She had been jammed inside of it,
Oh my
as if he
God.
was desperate to get her to fit inside, so much so that he actually sawed off her left leg, along with making a series of other cuts to her body to get her to fit. And this wasn't even the most damning revelation.
He's fucking crazy. I hope they fucking saw his leg off. Fuck him. Oh my God, I hope they arrested him and put him in prison for the rest of his life. Like, there's something really, really, really wrong with him. That is just absolutely disgusting. Oh my God.
With the most important having to do with Samantha's condition. Just by looking at her, it was clear to the first responders that Samantha was dead, and had been dead for days, likely having been killed instantly by the gunshot,
Yeah,
meaning that
that-
the blinking Joseph had witnessed was entirely hallucinated. It never
Oh, I was gonna say, if she's suffering that bad for days, that's lucky or unlucky. You know, I guess it depends on how you look at it. But if she was dead already, he fucking loony. But he still needs to go to prison.
could have happened, and yet that was his reality, and he fully believed it. Upon the discovery, Joseph quickly became the #1 most wanted man in Tennessee, and that same day, police would track down his vehicle as he appeared to have been trying to flee the state. But the officers got to him first, pulling him over and then surrounding his vehicle, drawing their guns and preparing for anything. But just as Joseph had said on the phone, he had no interest in going to jail, and that was something he was dead serious about. When officers finally got his car door opened, they would find Joseph Parker in the driver's seat, dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head.
What a pussy. Bro, like, if you murder someone then kill yourself, you're just a pussy at that point. Because you can't even accept the fact that you murdered someone and then you're gonna go to prison for life. Like, own up to it. You did it. Don't take the easy way out. Jesus Christ. But like, I really wonder what did happen though, to like why he would do that. But unfortunately, we may never know.
His death made it impossible to fully confirm why he had taken Samantha's life that night,
Yeah.
but reports seemed to indicate that he had recently lost his job, and the couple was experiencing financial hardships, putting their home in danger of foreclosure, with this perhaps being the reason the two were arguing on their anniversary. But reports also indicate that this murder didn't happen in the midst of the fight, as evidence points to Samantha having been asleep at the time she was shot, adding some uncertainty to how the situation truly did unfold. But one noteworthy discovery made after the fact was that at the time of his death, Joseph had drugs in his system, which could have been a factor in the murder itself, and it certainly was a factor in the hallucinations he was seeing afterwards, as he stood in his garage having full conversations with the frozen, mutilated corpse of the woman he had just killed.
That's chilling.
All the while truly believing it was all real, with this 911 call leaving a haunting impression on myself and the many others who have stumbled across it in the internet's darkest corners.
Breaking news now, this out of
Bruh, I honestly, for her sake, I hope she's, resting in peace and all that, but I do hope that, like, when he shot her while she was sleeping, so she wouldn't have felt it, and she would have been just gone in an instant instead of, being awake, seeing it, being scared, frightened, all that, and just hurting. Like, also, I hope she never forgives this dude, and I hope he's running away somewhere, because that's fucked up. And it's absolutely chilling that he would be talking to her dead corpse and randomly seeing her blink. But I guess that would make sense if he was on drugs. They never told us what kind of drugs, but they would have to have been like heavy duty. Let me tell you what, cause goodness gracious, that is scary. Like you have financial issues, okay? Like get those fixed. It's not the end all be all, right? Get those fixed. Like leave each other if you're in that much debt. Go live in a friend's house for a while. Like you have a bunch of options besides doing this. It just seems stupid and horrible. What the fuck? Anyway, let's just listen to the next one. I'm gonna say it can't be any worse, but it probably could. So we'll see.
She doesn't even go here.
Jennifer Sheffield's life was largely encapsulated by the posts she made on social media. She worked hard studying in medical school with the hope of becoming a doctor, a journey that she documented on her growing TikTok page. But when she wasn't at school or at a hospital, her time was spent with her family. She had been married to a man named Brandon Sheffield for around a decade, and when they met, Brandon already had 2 children from a separate relationship. Though this didn't deter her in any way, and instead she took on the responsibility of helping to care for them, raising the children alongside Brandon as if they were her own for much of their lives,
Good for her, that's
to the point
sweet.
where they seemingly started referring to her as their mother,
Aw.
a role that she thrived in, as she frequently posted pictures and videos alongside them. And the same was also true for her being a wife, as she loved to share her memories and moments with Brandon, cultivating this image of the perfect family and the perfect pair. But on social media, things are rarely ever as they seem.
That's true.
And on the 10th of December 2024, Jennifer would drop a bombshell on her followers.
So, about to be a newly single mom, and I am in the middle of a divorce. My husband is being incredible though, like really and truly, like we're working together.
Is this a front she's putting up? I wonder. Like, is she saying that because she doesn't want him to get even more angry, or like people to be like suspicious that maybe he's not being incredible or nice about it? That might just be it. That might just be it. Although I've never seen this on TikTok, so like I don't know what the comments are saying, but hopefully he tells us. Hopefully he tells us what people are saying about this whole thing. But like, all right, so they're gonna get a divorce. Good for them. If it's not working, get a divorce, leave, find someone else.
Everything's great. We're splitting everything down the middle. Like, everything is good.
After approximately 10 years of marriage, Jennifer announced that she and Brandon were getting a divorce. There was no explanation for why, just the simple fact that they were separated and had already started the divorce process.
Okay.
Something that was reiterated by both of their Facebook relationship statuses as they
Single.
shifted to single around the same time.
All right.
Despite the sad and even shocking news, it was clear that they were handling it better than most. There didn't appear to be any resentment between them, as Jennifer described Brandon as having been incredible throughout the process, supporting her in any way possible, which was obviously good not only for them, but for their children, who were top of mind for the pair.
It is a very civil divorce with our daughter in mind, and I really appreciate that. However, I'm going to be a mom, single income right now, and he will be helping with her. He will be supporting her, so essentially, like, I'm really thankful for that, and that I will not have to worry so much about supporting her.
It was apparent that there was some kind of custody split being discussed between them, which isn't really made fully clear in the video. But what was clear was how grateful Jennifer was for Brandon's support. But even with this...
Wait, so how does she get custody if they're not actually her kids? They're not biologically hers, so how does she get a cut of the kid? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments how that works, because I sure as hell am confused on that. But anyway.
help. This marked the first time in Jennifer's adult life that she was really on her own.
I've never done this before. I've never been on my own before. So yeah, if you just have any tips, like I would really appreciate it, because like I'm a little scared right now.
That's fair. If you're used to being
It was
with
uncharted
someone.
territory and something that she was understandably
new.
nervous about. But despite her fears, Jennifer maintained an optimistic attitude. And thankfully, at this point, the divorce itself was going about as well as it could be. They were both supportive of each other, they were both thinking of the children, and there seemed to be no bad blood between them. Though, as I said before, on social media, things are rarely as they seem.
Yep.
We have more breaking news now. This out of Brandon, where a husband and wife are dead following a murder.
There it
According
is.
to Brandon police, the couple was found on Toulon Street this morning after family conducted a welfare check on 30.
Bruh, imagine fucking your kids over like this. Like, how stupid are you? I mean, you're not just fucking the kids over, you're fucking her over. And then also your kids. Also your family and her family. Like, what the fuck?
Year-old Jennifer Sheffield.
18 days after posting this video, praising Brandon Sheffield for the incredible way he had been handling their divorce, both Jennifer and Brandon would be found dead inside their Mississippi home.
I knew that shit was
That
a front.
morning, family members arrived at the house to perform a welfare check, but noted signs of foul play outside, leading to them calling the police. Inside, officers discovered the pair lying next to each other. Each had a single gunshot wound to the head, with one thing being blatantly obvious. Brandon Sheffield had been the one to pull the trigger both times, shooting Jennifer before turning the gun on himself.
Pussy.
What happened that night isn't fully understood, but the
Like, bro, she just wants a divorce and wants to live away from you. Be like, okay, and move the fuck. That's all you have to do. Okay, and move the fuck out. Now, your kids are fucking orphans. All right? You left your kid. You fucked over your fucking kids. How selfish and demonic and disgusting do you have to be to do that? And also to kill someone. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, he's a fucking pussy, bro. God.
motive is fairly clear. This was likely the result of the divorce that Brandon had supposedly been handling so well. Though obviously there seemed to be more going on behind the scenes. Perhaps the violence was spurred on by the holiday season and Brandon's realization that this would be their last as a married couple. Or perhaps he just wanted Jennifer all to himself. And if he couldn't have her, no one could.
Bro, that's chilling.
Since her murder, Jennifer's video has become a morbid piece of internet history, and just seeing how full of hope she was is heartbreaking in hindsight. And because of Brandon's actions, not only was Jennifer robbed of her future, but these children were robbed of their mother figure and their father figure
Exactly.
all in one night.
Exactly.
And making this even more devastating, some articles have claimed that one of these children was actually in the house during the shootings.
I hope not.
What Brandon did was nothing short of evil, but surprisingly, not everyone has seen it this way, as the discourse around this case has somehow led to people actually sympathizing with him,
Ew.
and even blaming Jennifer for her own murder.
I mean, those are bots.
Sadly, this is just a fraction of the disrespect that Jennifer has faced.
I mean, let's be real, those are just bots farming some engagement. Like, no one in their right mind would actually take his side. Let's be real. Again, like I said, no one in their right mind would take his side, ever. That's messed up, bro. Like, you were married before, sir, you can find another woman again. Like, it's not fucking hard, dude.
Since her death, as there have been numerous other online controversies surrounding her and her family. Though for the sake of this video, I don't want these to distract from the very real story and the very real victim at its core. A young woman who will now never get to experience the future that she was so hopeful for.
I had this feeling this morning for some reason to tell you that it's gonna be okay. You still have a purpose. You've got to keep pushing. You still have a heartbeat. And that means that you've got to keep going.
Oh, that's sad. Like, bro, that's heartbreaking, dude. Like, all around. Holy shit. Like, in the end, I guess he was a monster. And it just, you know, sucks that he couldn't just let her go, let her be free. And, you know, also, he didn't even let himself be free. He let himself be consumed with rage and guilt. Like, yes, it does suck to get a divorce. It does suck to break up, especially after 10 years. For sure. It hurts like a bitch. But at the same time, it'll eventually be better. Eventually, you know. Can't tell you how long that'll be because it's different for everyone, but eventually you would have been fine. And you would have met someone else and you would have been happy. Maybe even happier, who knows. But like the fact that you were only thinking about yourself and how you felt and you didn't even think about your kids, that's messed up and that's demonic and it's in of itself. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. There's so much to live for and you kill her and yourself over a divorce. Like, really? That just seems stupid and so like tiny compared to like the whole universe of like what is out there that you could be doing, that who you could be loving and being with. But anywho, hopefully you all enjoy this video somehow. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of these videos. But with that, like it, dislike it, but at least subscribe.